What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another JUICEREACTS video. In today's video, we are continuing our exploration through the SCP Universe and the Foundation in general. And today we are checking out the Church of the Broken God by the Exploring series. Now, a bunch of people have been telling me to watch this and then Scarism or something. I don't know, something like that, something along those lines. And then I gotta watch a few other things before I should check out SCP 5000. Apparently that particular SCP has a bunch of these different things interweaved that's really good, so that I should just check it out. So I'm totally down with it, so I'm going to continue my way through this, and then we're going to watch SCP 5000, and then we'll get back into just jumping around and doing a whole bunch of other ones. But before we jump into today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's been subscribing and getting us down to 88% subscribed. But I will say, if you're not subscribed right now, please do it, because we're getting near 5,000 subs here on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for all of this. One thing I used to do on my other channel, which was my main channel that has a lot more subscribers, I used to do Q&As at 5,000 subs. Every 5,000 subs, I did a Q&A. If you guys would be interested in me doing a Q&A, let me know. If you don't give a shit, maybe I'll do a live stream. Maybe I should do like some live stream at some point, because I have been thinking about a live stream to where I actually just live stream and then you guys help me pick my wait list or watch list of what I should watch going forward. Because yeah, I'm just constantly just picking them from freaking comments and stuff. But that's an option. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the Church of the Broken God right now.
The Church of the Broken God. The SCP Universe is filled with countless anomalous objects, creatures, and phenomena.
Yes.
And it's only logical that there would also exist religions based around these strange and inexplicable concepts.
Yeah, I agree.
While most religions are focused on the idea of one or more deities and their role in the life and afterlife of humanity, the Church of the Broken God believes in a very different perspective.
Oh.
This video will provide a brief summary of the currently known information related to the Church, but due to the lack of canon within the SCP Universe, much of this is subject to interpretation or change.
Ooh.
To put it simply, the Church of the Broken God believes that their deity, an entity known as Meccan, has been disassembled, shattered, or otherwise broken. Their goal, and the focus of their centuries of effort, is to reassemble Meccan using a number of anomalous technological objects. To explain what happened to Meccan and why they wish to rebuild him, we have to look back to their beliefs on the origin of life. In the beginning, there were two gods: Meccan, the god of metal, machines, and intelligence, and Yaldabaoth, the goddess of flesh and animal instinct. It is said that Yaldabaoth is responsible for creating mankind, giving them their form and their instincts, but Meccan is responsible for giving us our intellect.
Okay.
In time, humanity progressed, creating continually greater technological marvels and becoming more and more civilized. This pleased Meccan, but greatly upset Yaldabaoth, as humanity was discarding their basic animal instincts. Yaldabaoth turned on humanity, wishing to turn them back into the wild animal she had first created, but Meccan stepped in to stop her. Knowing that a continual battle between two gods would have dire consequences, Meccan instead sacrificed himself, shattering his own body in order to use it as a great cage. Meccan's body encased Yaldabaoth, silencing both deities. Pieces of Meccan's body scattered across Earth, and fragments of Yaldabaoth began to trickle out of the cage. The followers of Meccan began spreading their religion and set out to gather what pieces of Meccan that they could find. They had two primary goals. One was to reform Meccan, the broken god, and two was to oppose the followers of Yaldabaoth, known as Sarkics. Sarkics deserve their own video to cover their history.
That's what it is.
Which is even more muddled than the Church of the Broken God. But notably, they believe in the alteration of their human forms to achieve godhood, and they practice human sacrifice, ritual cannibalism, and the worshipping of disease. The distinctions between the two cults are obvious, with the Mechanites believing they need to cast off their human nature with technology to achieve perfection, and Sarkics believing the opposite, that humanity and the Earth need to embrace their basic human nature, eschewing objective morality. It's believed that Sarkics wish to prepare the planet for the inevitable return of Yaldabaoth, and they primarily hope to achieve this using SCP-610, known as the Red Death, or the Flesh That Hates.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
SCP-610 is a highly contagious disease that rapidly transforms and takes over its host, forcing the host to spread the disease as much as possible.
That looks gross.
610 will infect any living organism nearby, and also will continue to spread fleshy growths in order to create an area hospitable for continued infection. Left unchecked, 610 would easily spread across the planet, but the SCP Foundation, the Church of the Broken God, and other organizations have managed to keep it contained so far. Before the Foundation, however, it was left to just the followers of Meccan to oppose the Sarkics, and this opposition most notably culminated in the War of the Flesh in the Late Bronze Age, and centered around the regions of Greece. The Sarkics fought by transforming themselves into abominable monsters, and with tremendous flesh beasts, as well as spreading disease and infection across the land, primarily the Red Death. The Mechanites fought by augmenting their bodies with metal and technology, and crafted weapons capable of widespread destruction. They also made great walking titans, piloted by 6 individuals.
I feel like, because they said Greece, right? I'm terrible at geography, but Rome is in the vicinity. And I feel like you could have, because like there's all this, I mean, in Greece, Greek mythology and all that jazz, you have all of these like cyclopses and stuff. You could have easily entwined that into the lore of this. You know what I mean? If you've ever played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there was a lot of that. Like you could have intertwined the Sarkics or whatever being the crazy monsters, and the Church of the Broken God being the warriors that fought them. Although they're just putting them in mechanized suits. But, you know, if you wanted to intertwine some more stuff, I just think that's what you could have done. Sounds
with
possible.
Weapons capable of launching fire, or even warping reality nearby. One of these colossi is currently contained by the Foundation in disrepair, designated SCP-2406.
That looks cool.
Shows signs of damage from some sort of anomalous organism. The war between the two groups raged on for some time, although most details have been lost, but both sides suffered massive losses throughout the war. Finally, the Mechanites managed to storm the final Sarkic stronghold in the Aegean, a massive organism that they used as a temple. Knowing their defeat was imminent, the priests residing there summoned the Red Death, and also performed a rite that would preserve the large organism so that it could be resurrected later. This organism is also contained by the Foundation, designated SCP-2095. With the Mechanites allied with the various Greek city-states, the war continued, but both sides soon became unable to sustain their efforts, and eventually both the Sarkics and Mechanites faded out of public view, and the world moved on.
Mechanites. I said Church of the Broken God.
The continued history of the Sarkics past this point is largely meant for another video, but the followers of Meccan would eventually fade away, with the remnants forming into the organization we now know as the Church of the Broken God.
Oh, there you go.
The current Church of the Broken God is splintered into 3 main factions, which supposedly share a strong animosity for one another. The principal faction, known officially as the Broken Church, is led by an individual known as Robert Bumaro, and largely follow the same tenets of their forefathers. The Cogwork Orthodox Church adhere to a technological style in line with the Industrial Revolution, transforming their bodies using cogs, gears, and steam-powered machines. They believe in remaking themselves in the image of Meccan, and utilize mechanical mass production as a form of prayer. The Church of Maxwellism is on the other end of the spectrum, focused on modern computers, digital networks, and advanced cybernetics. They believe that humanity must be completely connected via a massive digital network, forming something akin to a hive mind, so that the combined will of mankind can restore their deity. There are currently a number of anomalous objects contained by the SCP Foundation that are believed to be parts of the Broken God. and likely a number that are not yet known to the Foundation. SCP-1139, known as the Broken Tongue or the Broken Voice, is a metallic block that causes people in a radius around it to forget their known languages and instead comprehend a new shared language.
Oh.
SCP
That sounds interesting.
known as the Broken Eye, is a glass sphere that causes small slivers of glass to enter people's eyes, and it's believed that the sphere uses these shards to see through people's eyes in order to find the other missing sphere.
Ow.
SCP-217,
just
said to be the Broken God's
makes me want to rub my eye.
or Ichor, is a virus that can affect all animal life, including humans, and converts their bodies into a form of organic metal. This converted material resembles metal, leather,
is that a dog?
rubber, glass, wood, etc., but is still organic material, carrying the subject's DNA. It is said that Robert Bumaro, head of the Broken Church, willingly infected himself with the virus and has been fully converted. Other SCPs are related to the Church of the Broken God, whether supposed parts of Meccan or otherwise, but one of the most notable is SCP-882. 882 is a massive assembly of random machine parts, such as gears, pulleys, screws, and so on, that are ordinarily in continual motion through unknown means, and also seem to telepathically urge nearby individuals to bring metal to it so that it can grow larger. 882 is said to be the heart of the Broken God, but one of the proposals for SCP-001 describe an event that shine a new light onto this concept. The event described occurred in Mexico in 1942, in which a number of members of the Church of the Broken God managed to bring together multiple anomalous objects, causing them to form into a massive mechanical entity. This entity ravaged across the country, consuming everything in sight in order to grow larger, and seemed to be actively seeking out other anomalous objects.
That's cool.
Another SCP, number 2399, appeared to destroy the mechanical entity, carving out the Gulf of California in the process. The Foundation cleaned up the mess, leaving the inactive core at the bottom of the ocean.
California doesn't exist?
God, SCP-882, was taken into containment. But later interviews revealed that this heart was in fact manufactured by another organization.
That's crazy.
Factory, and was not a part of Meccan. It seems that certain higher-ranking individuals in the church, primarily Robert Bumaro, who was not yet the leader, could not locate the heart of Meccan, and instead had one made so that they could forcefully rebuild their god. This corrupted heart, 882, caused the entity to go mad, and the whereabouts of Meccan's actual heart are unknown, at least according to these documents. Finally, there is SCP-2217, which is a beach on an island in Greece, meant to function as a form of workshop for the Broken God, that will assist his followers in fighting the Sarkics and SCP-610, the Red Death. This is revered as a holy site by the Church of the Broken God.
What if normal people hang out on it?
And it's likely the place where Meccan would finally be properly reassembled to fight the Second War of the Flesh. It's believed that a massive apocalyptic outbreak of SCP-610 will occur on December 31st, 2019, and the Foundation are currently working with the Church, as well as the Horizon Initiative and the Global Occult Coalition in order to prevent or prepare for this event. So that's largely the current story as we know it, although there are documents that contradict certain elements of this video. And as the SCP Universe has no canon,
does that look like a
you're free to think what
Decepticon?
you want about the Church. If you do follow this canon, however, then you can see how the Church of the Broken God, originally presented as a mysterious enemy of the Foundation that wished to recreate a powerful entity for unknown purposes, is now working with the Foundation. Well, it's completely up in the air exactly what will occur in the future in regards to this supposed war for the sake of the Earth. The mythology and conflicts between the Sarkics and the Church of the Broken God have certainly been one of the most interesting facets of the SCP Universe.
Interesting. Just gonna throw this out there. for long-term booking, as they call it in the wrestling world, or just in writing in general. Apart we are broken, but united we are gods. That's a good quote. Okay, what was I gonna say? Oh, SCP-10,000 should be this war. I don't know if that's gonna create a new SCP. I don't know what to expect in 5,000. I guess we'll find out more, unless 5,000 is the war, which I guess could make sense, especially if this was done a long time ago. But if they haven't done the war, then 10,000, I think, would be a great time to do that, because it's a big round number, and you can kind of look through everything that's happened and kind of make something happen there. But yeah, anyways, this was cool. I love these little factions and religions and stuff that are in universes. I've always had this weird fascination with religion in other types of media, whether it's good or bad. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, I'm really digging this. I really like this idea that this thing makes you forget your language and you're all like linked to one particular language. This hurt my eye. Just thinking about something going in my eye just makes me want to twitch. Cause like, have you ever just seen something go in somebody's eye? Oh, you know, it just doesn't, I'm like Rachel Green from fucking Friends in that one episode. But yeah, I don't know. This is fire. Obviously, I will be looking at the, see, this is what I hate about reacting, like, right away. Sarkics? There you go, Sarkics, right? I forget names like that. Like, and I feel like people are like, this guy doesn't learn. No, it's just, if you've never done a reaction before, you're taking in so much information, and then I feel like it goes out of your brain like that. I constantly have to watch videos again or read more material to, like, solidify everything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying this, so we'll be watching the Sarkics video next. And then, am I good enough to watch 5,000? Let me know in the comment sections down below about that, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm enjoying this. SCP, always good stuff. But of course, if you guys have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to 5,000. Again, let me know what you would prefer. Would you prefer like a Q&A kind of video? Or should I just do a live stream and we just talk about a whole bunch of different things? I feel like people might enjoy a live stream a little bit more. I don't know. We'll kind of decide when we get there. But yeah, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not checked out my TikTok, go check that out, because I post a lot of silly content over there. I uploaded a couple videos yesterday. And if you want to come hang out on the Twitch stream, definitely come hang out on the Twitch stream. Hit that follow button and turn on notifications so you don't miss when we go live. But that is going to be it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember to wake up in the morning, ask yourself something about my daily dose of juice. See you guys next time.